Hello folks and welcome to another weekly vlog. I am playing Sims. Oh my god, have you heard my stomach? I've switched you on because Dobby and Molly are on their way back from their, well, Molly's groom and Dobby's bath from the groomers. They should be coming in this anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Molly. Have you had a groom, Molly? Oh, look at you. They're pretty. She's very pretty. I don't think I can take this off when I'm looking through the phone. Oh, did you have to tighten that? Molly, give me a minute. I need to get both sides unclipped.
If you just do one side, it'll come off.
Right, there we go. A little chunk. And there's Dobby. Oh, they're away. They've obviously been promised they could have something. I'm in my pyjamas. I've just phoned my mum to tell my dad that Darren's taking him up to A&E this evening. So yeah, I look like crap again, I'm aware. My eyes are like piss holes in the snow when I don't put makeup on. Darren is going in tonight, like 9 or 10 o'clock, and taking him up to A&E to try to get him a scan for his head. My dad, this is. And I've just phoned my mum to tell her, well, my mum phoned me because I wasn't well yesterday and the day before. She just was phoning to say, how are you today? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a bit better than I was, but Darren's coming in tonight, blah, blah, blah. And she sort of said to him, it took about 5 times for him to understand what she was saying. Darren's coming in tonight to take you up when it's quiet for a scan. He needn't bother. And then he fucked off into the kitchen. He's impossible. It's like, and my mum can't actually communicate a proper argument with him because she's too confused. And she can't get words out. And even when she does get words out, he doesn't understand what she's saying. And so I don't know what's going to happen when he goes in tonight. He fucking better go for this scan. You know, and if it is just effects of, you know, some people do get effects after a brain operation for a while, but I don't think it's that because the headaches and that had completely gone and have come back. I don't think it's recovery. I think it's potentially the beginnings of something else. But regardless of whether it is or whether it isn't, it needs check-in, because if it's left, it's either stroke or death, really, because he won't go back until it's that bad that he has no option. And I can't fucking take the stress, to be honest with you. My stomach is just beside itself at the minute. I've been so sick for the last couple of days, and I thought I was feeling a bit better today, and then, like, I didn't sleep much last night worrying about this, and I just feel like I had a week of not stressing and worrying about stuff. And I said to you, I've been so tired because the stress, you know, the scout stuff, and, you know, my parents were both through what had happened. My mum was back at home. Yeah, okay, she's not great, but she's back at home. My dad's had his op, and I thought, oh, de-stress, Lisa. And I think I've had about a week, and now this has reared its ugly head again. I feel like my life has lived in a permanent state of stress, with the occasional few weeks off stress here and there. And when I say off stress, not off stress like normal people where you can go and do stuff and, you know, have a bit of a social. It occurred to me the other day, apart from Darren, I don't have a in case of emergency contact. I don't have siblings. I don't have friends here that I'm close enough to. If I was in England, you know, it'd be my best friend Kelly, but here I'm not really close to anyone. I've no other relatives to speak of that I'm close to. My dad has siblings, but they're not a close family. I don't ever see them apart from at funerals or weddings. And I can't put my parents down because, well, my mum for obvious reasons, and my dad, you know, things like he can't drive. Well, I don't think he's driving at all at the minute. I think he was driving to the co-op and back, which is 3 minutes drive round the corner to get some groceries, but now I think he's even walking to do that. But just, will life just give me a fucking rest, a bit of peace? I'm supposed to be doing this stream tomorrow night, and I no more feel like it. Then I don't know whether to cancel it now or to wait and see what happens tonight. if it comes back that there is no brain bleed, then I might be like, oh God, thank God for that, and I might not need to cancel it, but we shall see. I hate cancelling on people, especially when they've been asking for a long time and I've been ignoring my inbox. They got me on when I was on a live stream a couple of weeks ago. The person that had been emailing me was on that live stream, and I hadn't opened any emails for months because I've just too much going on, to be honest. The thing is, and people think it doesn't take long, I go in and I go through my emails and it can take me about 3 hours, and I'm not writing big detailed responses or anything. There's just so many of them, and then the next day, half to 3/4 of them have replied again. And it's like, I don't know how people get the time to sit, unless at workplaces they get a lot of time at work to do stuff that isn't work related. But I'm at my mum's so much of the week at the minute, and it is so all encompassing when I'm there. And when I'm not at my mum's, I'm generally, doing work here. I'm helping Isaac study, I'm cleaning, I'm in bed because I'm not well. There's always, which is not why generally you always get me videoing in the car, because it's the only time when I'm up and about and not otherwise occupied. I find that I don't really get time otherwise. Cry me a river, Lisa, I mean, really. But yeah, I shall update you guys later this evening with what's going on.
That's the door over there. Getting his head scanned in there. Spooky.
Okay, I'm a sight for sore eyes, I am aware. I've just realised I've got a wrinkly neck that I didn't know before until I saw it at this level. I'm currently outside Isaac's school. I look like crap. Last night Darren took my dad up to A&E for a scan for his brain bleed, suspected brain bleed. At about 2, after being fucked about for ages, he refused to stay. Darren took him home, dropped him off, drove back out home to our house, was getting into bed at like 10 to 3, and the doctor called from the hospital saying, oh, we can see him now. We'd previously been told it would be another 12-hour wait to see a doctor to be referred for a scan. Even though they knew that he would need a scan, they couldn't give him one without the doctor saying that he could have one, and the doctor was not going to be available for 12 hours. All of a sudden he was available. Darren had to take my dad back, which was no feat. He had a scan somewhere in around 4 a.m. He doesn't have a brain bleed, which is amazing news, but the reason he has such a terrible head and loads of stuff's not right is because he has severe hypertensive crisis, meaning his blood pressure is, it was 210 over 110. Normal, perfect's like 120 over 80, is that right? 120 over 60? Anyway, mine is 140 over 90 or 80 something, and mine is on the high side of normal for me, apparently. I think if I dropped a bit of weight it would be lower, but that's normal for me. And with being on the pill and stuff, that puts it up. Waiting on, oh, I don't know why he says he's waiting on, that's Darren texting. So they were fucked about all day. It is now 3:30. They're still there. Darren phoned me 5 minutes ago to say they're letting him out. They have been giving him medication this afternoon to see if it would respond, and it has come down to 179 over something, which is still way too high, but they're letting him out with medication on the agreement that he comes back at 9 o'clock in the morning. So Darren's going to have to take him back in the morning. I mean, I could maybe do that. To see the consultant, to see what what the crack is about what's going on. He is going to have to be on medication, which my dad's, but they messed him about all day. It has to go to this team. This team have got it. Now we need to contact Belfast. Belfast have got back to us, but the people that they've got back to aren't here. Normally with current BP they keep, but strict, I don't know. Basically they don't want to let him out, but my dad's just making such a pain in the arse of himself that they're going to let him go. But at least it means he will get a sleep tonight. And he'll be up in the morning. My dad doesn't sleep well either, so that's not great. So I can imagine I'll probably be staying at my mum's tonight, and then I can take him up in the morning rather than Darren. We'll see. But right, that was just Isaac phoning me because he couldn't find me. I'm gonna go. I shall speak to you later, guys. I have to go to Tesco and get a few bits, but yeah, I'll speak to you later. Hello guys. Yes, I still look like this. I think I've got soil in my hair as well. I've been trying to do some gardening. The first dry day we've had in a while. Been outside for 3 hours. My arms and legs are like jelly. And I've just had a call. Darren took my dad up to the hospital. I don't know how far I got in this yesterday before I had to stop. Darren and my dad got back home yesterday at about 5:30. That was I sorted out my mum's tea, fed her, carers were putting her to bed, so I went home last night. There's a thing on this car that pulls you when it thinks you're going off a lane, which is a pain in the arse. Because when you go around a corner it seems to think you need sorting and it pulls you into the other side of the fucking road. Even when we got this car, the person that sold us it told us everybody we know that has it turns it off. It's really good for the motorway. If you're driving, not that I have a tendency to do this, but some people may doze off on very long journeys on straight roads, and it's fantastic for that, because the minute it feels you drift, it actually alerts and it pulls the car back into lane. But when you're going in and out country roads that are twisty, it's a pain in the arse. Anyway, they let him go home last night on the proviso that he'd come back at 9 o'clock in the morning for a blood pressure check. So Darren took him up this morning at 9 o'clock for a blood pressure check, and his blood pressure was, so initially it was 210/110, then it came down to 29, then it came down to 190, then it went back up to 201, then it came down to 180 something, and then it was 179 something, and they let him home last night. This morning it's 160 something over something else, I can't remember. But they thought he'd be out and in pretty fast this morning, but they also did bloods and waited till all the bloods came back, so they were up there for 3 hours. My dad has gone to bed this afternoon. Somebody has taken the key out of the lockbox on the outside of my parents' house, so the carers can't get in. The carers have just appeared to do my mum's 4 o'clock call, and they can't get in the house, so they're phoning me 15 fucking miles away to say we can't get in. And it's like, well, I'm 15 miles away. So one of the carers has clearly taken the key out of the lockbox and put it somewhere, hasn't put it back, and nobody can get in. My dad's in bed, deaf as a post, so he can't hear anybody at the door or the phone ring or anything. So I now have to drive all the way in order to make sure, because my mum's catheter bag will need emptied. It could fill up. I can't just leave it. The carers have left, so I'm going to go in and she's going to start on about needing to go to the toilet, and I can't lift her, and I'm bollocksed as it is. But this, I know you do stuff as for your parents, but it's beyond taking the piss at the minute. It's just driving. The amount of petrol we've used, and been up at hospitals in all day yesterday. I didn't sleep last night. Darren didn't sleep last night. I done one thing for us today, which was a bit of gardening, and I've literally just got in, sat in my arse. Isaac come in from school, we were about to get stuck into his homework. I was about to go over, you know, what maths he'd done today. Now I've had to leave him to his own devices, which means he'll rush through everything as fast as he can. He already was like, oh, can I only do half of the homework because it's not due? And I says, Isaac, but you've got things due for next week, and you may get more stuff for next week. So on a night when you've only got one subject, geography, and all he has to do is draw the flags of 7 countries, and he has to write a bit about, he has to write like, what, HDI index? I've no idea what that even is. He has to write the HDI index for each country, like a list of stuff for each country, I can't remember. And I'm like, Isaac, there's maybe half an hour to 45 minutes work there. I says, there's nothing, it's dead easy. Well, maybe an hour tops by the time you draw the flags and colour them in and stuff, but probably half an hour, I would say. And that's it. And he's already wanting to not do it all. It's like, he just wants to do the least amount possible. It's his dad's son, I'll tell you that much. So, no, Darren's great with, like, you know, taking my dad up to hospital and stuff and sitting and that sort of thing, but see, getting him to do anything in the house is like pulling teeth. I'm half killed trying to do gardening because Darren won't do it. He just will not. He'll run a lawnmower about because it's easy, it doesn't take too much time, but see, anything like weeding or, you know, anything that takes it. I mean, when he weeds, well, he doesn't weed. When he mows the garden, he won't get a strimmer out and do the edges. So we've got the garden mowed and the edges are all long and there's weeds all around the place, and it's like, I'm in a moaning mood, folks, obviously. I'm like, Jesus Christ, will anybody ever sort of like do shit for me, you know what I mean? Daffodils are all out at the minute and they look really nice. So I'm in again tomorrow at my mum's because she didn't get out this week because my dad wasn't up in A&E all day, so I thought I'll take her in I'll go in tomorrow and take her out, and I'll have today to rest because, like I say, I didn't sleep at all on Monday night for worry about my dad, and then Tuesday I was in at my mum's all day until the evening. Last night I was so exhausted, I was in bed at 9 o'clock, which is not like me. And it's one of the bloody carers has taken the flipping key out of the box and left it in the house, and then they phone me, where's the key? It's like, well, one of your laws either got it in their pocket or left it in the fucking house, meaning I'm stuck having to do this. So I'm trying to think, I know what I'll do. There's something Isaac's been after. I don't know if Smiths will have it or not. I might look it up just so I don't. There's a new film coming out, a Roblox film, and Jack Black's in it. I bet it'll be fucking awful, but Isaac's desperate to see it, and there's a Jack Black figure. He's got, I can't remember what his name is, some, you know, like a Steve, I think it is. And he keeps on about going to Smith's to look for this Steve figure. Forgot what I was saying. Yeah, this Steve figure. But we're never anywhere near it, and I'm always running doing something for one or other of my parents. And I stink because I've just been gardening. And Isaac came in and I thought, right, I'll do this bit of homework with Isaac and then I'll go and have a bath. And now I have to do this for fear that my mum's catheter will overflow. Well, it doesn't overflow, that's the issue. If it fills, it's going to back into her bladder, which is dangerous, so I need to get in and make sure the catheter bag's emptied. Fucking hell. Stupid old man. Pulling out from his house into 60 mile an hour, windy road, people going, and his nose is out into the fucking road. I have such bad indigestion, it's shocking. I take these tablets for excess stomach acid called lansoprazole, and I had myself, the tablets are 30 milligram, but I had myself weaned down to maybe about 5 tiny little bit, like one tablet I was able to separate into like 6 separate tablets. I buy little empty capsules, and I came off them about a week ago entirely, and then everything that's happened, my stomach acid's just here somewhere, and I haven't been eating properly this week because I've been so I can't eat when I'm stressed. So the acid's all building up because there's nothing in my stomach for it to do. I'm stressed out and the acid's just burning. Ugh. Right, now that I've had my whinge and I've got it off my chest, I shall go. Like I say, my dad's BP's down to 160 something over something else. It's still way too high obviously, but it's down. My mum will be cross when I go in that he's in bed because she doesn't get that he's going to be exhausted and he needs the rest. But she doesn't. I mean, he was in hospital. The doctor told him, it's like this, Mr. McQuillan, if you go home, the likelihood is, this is what the doctor said to him, good for her, and it was said really sternly, it's like this, if you go home, the likelihood is you are going to drop dead of a stroke or a heart attack, and then your wife will have nobody. Is that what you want? She said, because if that's what you want, there's the door. Or you can stay and we can decide a treatment plan together and we can put it into, you know, she was really, Darren says she was really like, you know, strict with him. I'll stay. And then she's like, thank you, that's the right decision, so let's put something in place. And that's when they decided they would let him home last night if he came back this morning. So he's still not in a good way, let's be honest, but there's no brain bleed. I was terrified of that, but they have told him to go to the opticians, get an eye test to check behind his eyes, that there's, and I'm hoping they're not thinking maybe there's something there. I was like, oh fuck. They looked in his eyes with a torch and told him to go and get an eye test, but then I thought if there were anything there they would have found that surely on the brain scan. Darren says, well, they were only scanning his brain. I'm like, surely they had to scan his whole fucking head. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, right, I'll go. I'll let you know if I manage to get Steve. So, it's 25. It's between 25 to 5 and 20 to 5. So in 20 minutes, traffic will be fucking manic with everybody leaving work. So I'll be in the midst of that, which will be fabulous. Right, there's a bus pulling over. I'm just going to annoy everybody and not go around it because there was a school bus maybe a month ago. They're trying to change the law so that it's illegal to overtake a bus that's letting people off because a bus that had school kids in it pulled over and kid got off, a little girl, I think she was 12, 13, and she got off the bus and she was crossing in front of the bus and a car was overtaking the bus and didn't see her and knocked her down and killed her about a month ago. So they're trying to change the law to make it illegal to overtake a bus that's pulled in, which, yeah, completely in agreement with that. So can you imagine being the parents of that child? And it happened. I mean, loads of kids will have seen it. Everyone on the bus will have seen it happen. Jesus. Awful. Absolutely awful. Right, anyway. I'll go, folks. I'll check in with you later if I get Steve and I'll let you see him to see the immaturity of my son. Fucking Jack Black figure, honest to God. I don't know why he wants it, but there it is. Typically the lad from Fright Club was working behind the counter and I went up and I don't think he recognised me. He heard my voice and he's like, oh, hello, how you doing? I'm like, I'm not fucking surprised you don't recognise me. He said it's fine if Isaac go, oh, they never even said what, they're screening Aliens next. And it's actually on mine and Darren's anniversary and Isaac's off Scouts that night as far as I'm aware, so we're going to go, but I wasn't sure because it's an 18. But he's like, well, if you're happy, fine. And I'm like, yeah. I says, he's seen it before. It's all of our favourite Alien. I know strictly speaking you're meant to say the first one's the best one, but all of us prefer the second one. So we'll be going to see that 25th of April. Bastards. Pardon, my language is fucking hell. He was indicating to fucking go down there like a fucker. Yeah, and I'm just about to say my language and then I've done it again. Indicating to come off the roundabout into the area I just have, and I was about to pull out and he continued on the roundabout. So see, people that don't know how to use a fucking indicator. Turn signal if you're in America watching this. We call them indicators. So listen to me if you're watching this in America. The only reason I say that is not because I've got a plethora of followers, as you will notice if you look at the views on the videos, which is my choice, by the way. Well, not that I think, I'm not saying more people would watch, but I don't advertise that I have this channel because I like to keep, there's 2 people. Oh yeah. This guy just pulled right out in front of me and I couldn't be cross because he looked so sheepish and I went, I'm like, okay, fair enough. We all do stupid things. But he was like, I was about to swear, but because he looked sheepish, that's fine. He knew he'd done wrong and he acknowledged the fact, that's fine. What was I saying? I think I'd finished about aliens. What was I talking about after that? No, it's gone. So, oh yes, America. Kelly and Shan in America sometimes watch my vlogs. They're sisters and they live in Texas. Kelly does vlogs. Something that really surprised me, and I'm sure if you're in the UK it may surprise you, or it may not if you're more learned than I am. Texas gets some really bad weather. Now, when it's summer and when it's hot, it's hot. It's like I couldn't survive hot. Because I remember when we were in Florida and I was struggling and I'm saying, oh God, it's this. And Kelly was saying, what? This is what it is here. And she was telling me what it was there and it was so much hotter than what we had in Florida. And I'm thinking, fucking hell. But obviously, following Kelly's vlogs, she vlogs all year round. And they get so much rain. And proper rain, the sort of rain I love, like when we were in Florida, you know, the showers, the torrential showers, I love watching those. There was a couple of storms when we were, like, not bad, well, there was a fucking hurricane, we just missed it. You know, like lightning storms with torrential rain, we don't get rain like that here very often. I love that type of rain, and they get so much of that type of rain in Texas, and that was really surprising to me. And in the winter it gets really, really cold. I think they had dust storms, Kelly was saying, last week, which is something we certainly don't get here because it's too fucking wet to have any dust. But yeah, that was really surprising to me that in Texas it gets really rainy and really cold. So there you go. If you didn't know that, that's something you know now. Yeah, so there's like a handful of people. I have Kelly, my best friend in Nottingham, that watches, and Kelly and Shan in Texas, Kermit's ghost Alan down on the south coast in Brighton in England, and Sue's in Yorkshire where my husband's from. I can't plug Sue's vlogs enough, they're so good because they're so, mine is me waffling shite, which is mainly, it's like I always say, it's for me to look back on, but also I kind of like can stay in touch with Kelly in a way this way because she can see what we're up to. It's busy. But Susan's are really varied. She's got 2 daughters, so you get like a lot of like mum kid stuff, but she sings in a band and you get that. She's a hairdresser, so you get some of that. She loves makeup. She used to do makeup for weddings, so you know, sometimes she'll do makeup or like put lashes on, or there's just so much variety. Yeah, so if I remember, what I'll do is I will I will link, I usually try and link someone else's videos at the end, or sometimes I'll link my own review on the main channel. But if you like vlogs, Suze's vlogs are some of the best to actually watch. The only vlogs I watch is Suze's and Kelly in Texas. Shan occasionally vlogs, but Kelly vlogs a lot more regular. Yeah, right, I'm talking shite now. I mean, I still can't get over this. What the hell does a 14-year-old boy want with that? He says it's hilarious. So there you go. Yeah. So on my way home, it's 6 o'clock. Darren's making chicken and vegetables for tea. It'll be the first proper meal I've had since Monday. When I'm super stressed out, I can't eat, but I need to eat because the stomach acid is just driving. Oh, there's a fucking post box there. Past it now. And because it's so busy, there's a ton of traffic behind me. You know what? I'll pull in at the Spar on the way home if I remember, and get it posted, or I'll not be there in time at all. Right. I shall speak to you guys later. Morning. It's quite early. Well, it's not quite early really. It's about 9:20. And I switched on to let you see poor Dobby, who is pining for Molly because, yes, you are. Molly is at the vet's, having her, every few months she has a checkup for her heart murmur, to make sure her medication's okay. And Darren has her in at the vet's, and Dobby is lost without her. She's usually over there on that sofa with all them fucking snuggies, sleeping happily. But no, she's staring out the window, waiting for Molly to come back. Look at her wee face. Oh, where's Molly? Are you missing Molly? She's side-eyeing me. Are you side-eyeing me? Hey? Oh, bless her. She's just going to sit and stare at the window until Molly comes home. Oh, poor Dobby. She should be home soon. Probably within about 10-15 minutes. Look at her little tongue sticking out. Bless her. Let's pause this. Dobby, is Molly back? Can you see the car outside? No, you can't. It's true. Look, just about to see the car out the window. Dobby, look, she's no interest. Is Molly back? Is that your Molly? She come in. Bless her. Who's that? She's been staring at the window. Who's that, Dobby? Is your Molly back? Is she back? Look at her little tail. Hello, Molly. Is she back? There, she's a happy girl now.
Okay, very good. Very welcome here for everybody.
Hello guys, back up. It is Tuesday. No, it's not. That's the day I usually go into my mum's, but that was hospital day. It is Thursday, and I am going into my mum's to take her out today. It's due to flipping rain most of this afternoon, so hopefully we manage to get down when it's dry. Yesterday, did I talk to you yesterday? I think I did, after I left. Oh, I tell you, that was taxing. I have been in fucking agony since last night going to bed. And waking up this morning was like, oh my god, it was so painful. Every part of me hurts. Like I feel, one of the things about fibro is you feel really badly bruised when you hurt. So like any sort of movement of your muscles, like standing up, sitting down's shocking. You just feel like, the only way I can explain it is you feel like somebody's given you a really bad kicking. You feel really bruised, and like even the act of like sitting down really hurts your hips, your bum, your thighs, your back. So yeah, I'm really hoping she doesn't start about toilets today because I can't. I think I may have to go up with a sample today to the doctors. I'm going to call it the graveyard on the way in to check and see if that flower pots still on the grave. Yeah, I did speak to you yesterday because I got that bloody Steve for Isaac. He hasn't stopped going on about it. He's put it as his WhatsApp profile image. He put the doll, the figure, on Dobby, and that's his WhatsApp image. His mates are all really jealous that he has a Steve figure. I mean, what the hell are 14-year-old boys doing that they want a Jack Black action figure? So apparently the film comes out on the 5th of April. Isaac has started his Duke of Edinburgh award with Explorers, where they have to do skills section. I talked to you about this, because I remember. So I asked the Beavers leader if he could help with beavers every week as his volunteer, and she's like, really? She says, oh yes, definitely. We need all the help we can get, so that's good. So we'll start that tomorrow night. Tonight he has jiu-jitsu, but because I'm at my mum's, I've just told him to go straight there after school, because his class starts at 6. So for him to get out home and eat, you know, I'd have to be making another journey. Oh no, there's a badger. So many badgers on the roads. It's horrible. It's another thing about living rurally, you see so much roadkill. Janet Street Porter would be out and picking it up to cook it. She does that, by the way. Imagine finding roadkill and picking it up to eat it. I mean, you don't know what the hell, it could have had some sort of disease or something. I don't think there's anything really else to tell you. My dad got up yesterday when I was leaving and he doesn't look well at all. His eyeballs are all like pinky red, and I can just tell he wasn't in good form at all yesterday. So hopefully we'll get a chance to sit in his arse today while I've got my mum out of the house. My mum is pretty demanding. She doesn't feel that she is, but she, like, because she can't do anything for herself, like, she can't manage the cup, and every time she wants a drink or something, you have to get up and down and up and down, and she'll want things given to her for no reason, like, can I get my handbag? And there'll be no reason she wants her handbag, and I'll actually say, look, you don't need your handbag. But everything she asks from her dad gets it, and it's like, you know, she doesn't need her handbag. There's nothing in it other than her purse, and all she does is drop money all around the place. Darren's been trying to get through to the OT about the chair, which is now further broken than it was before. I might actually take some video of that today for the OTs to show them what I mean. Yeah, I think I will actually, so that they can actually see what the issues are. I'll just have to get my dad to hold it and film me doing the thing, and then I can show you. I'll put it in the vlog. So yeah, I shall go because there's nothing else for me to tell you right now. I'll check in with you. I started raining, by the way. Fabulous. I'll check in with you guys later on. And my throat's sore again. Hey! Just filming issues with the chair. The chair is in a fully upright position at the moment. This section should be completely flush to here, flat. It now won't go in. So as well as the foot plate not working, this now will not go in. We've tried everything, which obviously means you can see you can't get close to the front of the recliner at all. With regards to this foot plate, the only thing that it does at 90 degrees is push in this little bit. It doesn't push in fully. When you try to push it in, it just pushes up. So there's a little extension, obviously, that comes out like that, which you can push back in. I seem to be the only one that can do it. And then when you want to push this back, so you can see the issue. If you're at the front of this chair, you can't push this in. And now, on top of that, we can't push that in. We have spoken to the carers, none of them have moved it, so we have no idea how this has happened, why this is now broken as well. So the chair desperately needs fixing, as it's really not suitable for purpose at the moment. I know. Turning my... Why does the clasp at the back of your necklace always want to come to the front? I've no idea. Right. I'm waiting for Isaac outside jiu-jitsu. I've caved because I haven't eaten all day since I had a protein shake this morning. Now, you think, oh, she's being healthy. 596 calories in a little bit of pasta and some chicken and pesto. No cheese or anything in it. It's a disgrace. But you know what? I'm gonna eat it. It's got a nice wooden spoon with it. It's a fork, Lisa. Fork. That's nice. Found homework again. Isaac wasn't aware he had. It's not checking Google Classroom. Well, she never told us. I says you've got Google Classroom, you're meant to check it. This is a good one. At the back of their English, I'm eating and talking at the same time. Dreadfully rude. At the back of their exercise books, they put new words that they've learnt with definitions, and she would give them like lists of words from the last chapter they would have read of their book. So he wrote this list of words in the back that the teacher had told them to write. Didn't look up any definitions. I'm like, Isaac, you've got a big list of words here with no definitions. Well, she didn't tell us to look up the definitions. I said, Isaac, you're writing it at the back of the book where the purpose is for you to write words with definitions. Was it not self-explanatory? Does she need to tell you that? Well, she didn't tell us. It's like, really? So, honestly. So he's in there now. It's gonna storm. The sky is so dark and it's sunny. Well, you can just see it coming in that window. Monday's after school. He's getting loads more work at school at the minute. They start GCSE preparation next year, but it'll be September of this year. He's got guitar lessons on Monday. He has got jiu-jitsu on Thursday. He has to go in an hour early on Friday before Explorers to help with the beavers for his Duke of Edinburgh award. We're at my mum's every Sunday. It's only a day she sees Isaac and Darren. And the cars are going past behind me. The shadow makes it look like people are walking behind. Right, I will save you having to watch me eat anymore. Let me turn you around so you can see the colour of the sky. Look at that. That's the cinema, by the way. Look at that black sky. Right, now there's someone coming that's going to think I'm filming them. And then over there, the sun, but no rainbows as yet. Hello. My cheeks are all red, I've just realised. That's the no makeup red face. It's just started raining. Isaac, don't be pulling faces the whole time. I've just seen you.
I'm not doing anything.
Right, you haven't put your hair back. I am driving Isaac into Beavers, believe it or not, because he is starting his volunteering tonight, helping with the younger kids before Explorers. It's only an hour. Well, tonight it's only 45 minutes because they'll be leaving earlier. Andre's going. She says, oh yes, I know, my son's going too. So the Explorers are going for a beach walk in Waterfoot tonight. So it's now started pissing it down, which is fabulous.
What if it's that way then?
It is that way.
Yes, so it might not be raining that way. It's really close.
Well, Isaac, it's not that far away, it's probably going to be raining. Anyway, he's got his waterproof coat, he's got a hat and gloves, so yeah, that's what we're doing. Can't think it. Next week the beavers are going to a pet shop, so Isaac will enjoy that because the kids will probably get to hold like guinea pigs and stuff.
Oh my god, I'm going to throw a guinea pig.
Isaac, that's not even remotely funny. He does not mean that, in case you think he does. You're supposed to be supervising the little kids, not doing the little kid activities, Isaac.
What?
So
Unfair.
Just don't stand about tonight looking like, oh,
What we're
what do I
into?
do? I don't know, Isaac. I'm not over beavers, don't it is? So, yeah, I am going. If you're wondering why me and not Darren, the Scouts are on their what's it called? Expedition this weekend. They have to meet at the train station today at 7:15. So I would imagine they shouldn't be around the Scout Hall at 6:30. So I'm going in to get the badges when nobody's there. So that I just don't want to have a big long conversation with people about my dad and what's wrong with him and all that stuff.
I can get blinded.
So yeah, I'm getting the badges. I've actually ordered. I am so sick and tired of looking at 54 badges outstanding on the Explorers thing. I've actually ordered all the Explorers badges that they need, and I'm going to do those as well and send them in Isaac next week. So the Explorers will be all up to date with their badges. I don't think anybody will be monitoring payments then, because I'm not offering to do that. I offered to maintain badges because the amount of work I put into making sure it was done right, I don't want someone messing it. I don't want the kids to miss out. The rest of the stuff I felt the leaders were taking the piss, but I don't want the kids to miss out on getting what they're entitled to, because it is quite, people think like, oh, you do something you get a badge, and it's like so much more convoluted than that. There's so many steps they have to do for each badge, and you have to like make sure the roll call of who's there on what nights, what they're doing, what part of what badge, and you have to make sure everything's done on the computer. Isaac, stop.
Why?
Everything. You're 14, Isaac, not 4.
Why?
Just let him do it. His face will stay like that. So yeah, the leaders are away to Crawfordsburn this weekend with the Scouts. Poor Emily's being bullied at school.
Where's Emily?
You know you weren't there. The newest girl that's joined Scouts, she's a friend of Ola's. Right, Francis's van's still there. I don't know what's going on with that. Surely she's left by now.
Face.
No, Isaac. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'll get these badges. I'll go back home, and because the Explorers have to come back home through where we live, they're dropping him off, which means we don't have to go in and pick him up, which is fabulous. Saves us a double run, because the amount of petrol we have used this week is just scandalous. Nothing happening tomorrow that I'm aware of. I'm surprised you haven't arranged to meet anybody tomorrow. Well, next Saturday is
Minecraft
movie with Stephen,
Printed
Daniel
Steel.
and Callum. Apparently Daniel's been talking about the movie for ages as well.
Chicken jockey.
So, yeah, right, I'll go. I'm going to sit and talk about arrangements. There's no point making you listen to that. I shall speak to you guys later. I got a cloth version of the Fitbit, if you heard me, because the rubber ones make my hand come out in or arm come out in a really bad rash. These are much better, they don't. But see, getting it through that, it just doesn't want to do it. I also need to sync it, so I'll need to switch this off for a minute. Right, I've got that synced now. My eyes are too small to look at the bags. Honestly, this is what happens when I don't use foundation. I just put a little bit of powder on to take the redness off my cheeks. And the joy of getting old, folks. In my lower waterline, which is what I was going to talk about when I spotted the bags, I've got this like black, really thick liner, and when you see it online it looks really nice in the waterline, but I don't think my eyes are big enough. It can make your eyes look smaller. You should really keep your waterline with no black there, but it's on now, so there's not a lot I can do about it.
I look like I'm physically melting summertime this morning. I do bathroom
It's that thing when you get older that everything feels like you look like you're melting, your face drops and you get these jowls. Although since I've lost a bit of weight, I don't think they're quite as bad as they were. We shall see. What is it they say? A balloon doesn't have wrinkles. So if you're fat, you don't have as many wrinkles. So I dread to think how many wrinkles I'll have if I can lose a decent amount of weight.
Right,
We are, Isaac's at home waiting for Stephen, who's coming over. We are going to Dobbies Garden Centre because, and typically it's pissing it down. It's not as bad as it was earlier, but the garden's not done yet. I started it last week and literally I'm not, even if it was good weather, I couldn't do it yet because I'm still, I don't know what day it was I did that. I think it was Wednesday, or was it Thursday? It was Wednesday because I went in on Thursday to take my mum out shopping, and I'm still really sore, and it's Saturday now. So I'll have to finish it off some dry day this week. But I wanted to go, part of the badger. I know it was, because I was recording when I saw it. I was there the day before yesterday as well. Yeah, so I wanted to get like a couple of plant type things. I want to get something, even though I'm always drawn to something with pretty flowers. I can't help it. I want to get something that's like gonna like grow out, like be bushy, like I like, you know, like leafed plants that are different colours. I think they call it variegated leaves if it's more than one colour, but you get some plants that have reddish coloured leaves and things like that. You know, like something big and bushy like that to take up a bit of space. Yeah, I'd rather than have a few plants in the flower bed, I'd like to get it to the stage like Claire has hers, where the whole thing is just loads of different, you know, like you get pampas grass and stuff and the whole bed is just full, so then you can't see the fucking weeds because that's full. You still have to weed, like, but there's just not as much blank space to be taken over by weeds. Why are weeds so much better growing than everything else? I mean, why can your normal plants not grow like weeds? The ivy grows really well though in our garden, actually too well. It needs cutting back all the bloody time. It's like, I tell you what, I wish we could have that ivy growing along the fence between us and the neighbour, because we're going to have to replace the bamboo on that because it's all fallen to bits. But our neighbour, I don't know if he's never there or what the crack is, but his garden looks like a jungle. He's one of those that just never touches it, and he's had a water leak for, I'm going to say, about a year. And it started off, now I'll tell you how loud it is. I, at the beginning when we didn't know it was him, got out of my bed in the middle of the night and went downstairs and out to the backyard because I'm like, what is this water? Because we'd all the trouble with the boiler, and it was his dripping from his we call that fascia.
It would fill a milk bottle, I would say, every 5 to 10 seconds. It's coming out fast.
It's now coming out proper fast. I want to report it to the water board, to be honest, but Darren says if you do that they'll know it was us. But
the next door down's not reporting because it's family.
The door on the other side is related to, but in my opinion, dog walkers walk behind that all the time up the field. You would see it.
Yeah,
and if you were walking your dog and saw that every day, you'd be like, the amount of what, it's just constantly. And I'm thinking,
how much? Pouring after
yeah,
24 hours a day.
Yeah. It's like, why is there nothing that's actually alerting? You know, is there not like a water usage report for every house? You know what I mean? But if it's really bad. Anyway, that's just to give you the opinion that it's just not arsed about anything. And all of the shit that grows, nettles, big long grass, weeds, is all coming through the fence into our side. And it's really hard to get up, so we had bought big bamboo sheets, and we had linked on the whole length of the fence, which is quite long, to keep, well, it still comes through, but not quite as bad. And also, when it's not there, you can see it all through the fence. But it's been there so long, there's been so many fucking cats running up it. that it's just not in any good state. It
His
needs,
grass has been through the full life cycle of grass. It's grown massively tall, done that sprouty thing, died off, made the
Yeah.
hay on it, and then it's grown up again.
yeah,
It's just
it's shocking. It's like, I hate having, now I know that the person on the other side of us is the other end of the spectrum, not quite as bad as our old neighbour in Martinstown who used to, I'm sure he took scissors to the grass, did he not? He was anal to the point that he cut the grass so much it wasn't nice, it was too short and it looked a bit dead, but he was anal about grass. Now to me, if it's cut and it's tidy and it's edged and it's weeded, fine, but he made you feel like if you had a few inches of growth on your grass you need to be out cutting it. Now our neighbour where we are now isn't as bad as that, but their lawns are so beautifully manicured. They're stunning. All of their like pathways are all really clean and tidy. There's no weeds. There's really nice plant pots and plants and all that sort of thing. It looks gorgeous. They've put like new shutters on the windows and stuff, so they're really house proud. And I feel a bit in the middle, like certain things about ours lets theirs down, like between the two houses is loads of fucking weeds, which is Darren's job to clear. We're still waiting. I done the front and the back, other than one little square. But the guy on the other side is the opposite side of that, where there's no house proudness at all, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like no one lives there because it's just so, I just don't, it's a single guy that lives there on his own, so I just don't get how people can live with that in the garden. It's not like, oh, the garden needs doing, it's a jungle. It's like you would need to get,
it hasn't been touched in nearly 2 years.
yeah,
At all.
it's like just go out and cut it down, you know what I mean? And all of that shit's coming in our garden. And it, like Darren says, it's the grass has grown up so long, it got those, you know, where it got like, they look like hay, and then all the grass seeds comes off that into our side, and against his fence, ours is like, you know, like loads of pebbles, what do you call it, like stones. It's, we don't have grass on that side, but all of his grass seeds blowing in and encouraging stuff to grow where it shouldn't be growing on our side. It's irritating. So we're kind of stuck in the middle of absolute beautiful manicured house proud house and someone that just didn't give a shit. So the first weed of the year though is, there's no point attempting to weed your grass or weed your flower beds in winter here because there's just no point. It's so cold and wet and there's loads of snow and ice, and you know, we just don't bother. But when it starts getting into better weather, as I say, with the rain coming down, 9 degrees, I get it all done, and the garden's usually, you know, nice for summer, spring and summer actually. What I did was, every year I tend to get little daffodil plants, you know, the little tiny mini daffodils you get in tubs, and then when they've flowered and they're wilting, I cut them right down so there's like only about this, and I plant them in the garden, and they've come up every year. So we've got lots of little mini daffodils at the minute, which are really cute. I love daffodils, they're probably one of my favourite flowers. I would love to get daffodils, snowdrops and bluebells in the garden, because I think they're like my favourite kind of, or you know, like those seed bombs you get that are wildflowers, but any we've ever get is just loads of grass. But you get ones that have poppies in, and like blue flowers, I don't know what the blue ones are, but they're like a powder blue, and then you've red poppies, and they're gorgeous. I would love loads of that. But Jim got, One-Eyed Willie got, I say that because Darren won't know who I'm talking about. He got one of those flower bomb things from B&M of all places, and his were gorgeous, the wildflowers that grew out of his. They also got like this plastic small shed that they put up, and it's a really, really nice job. And I thought, oh, that would be really good to put a few bits, you know, on the concrete section of the back garden. And I said to his mum, Oh, how much was it expensive? 276 quid. I thought, right, I didn't expect it to be that expensive. It's not like it's like a small plastic storage thing. I thought, Jesus, I'll not be having one of them then. So, yeah, we'll go and see what we can see. I'll show you what we buy. I need to get a wee trolley or something. I remember taking my mum up and her buying stuff, and I had to try and manage a trolley and a wheelchair. Thankfully, one of the staff brought the trolley down to the checkout for us and left it down there, which was good. Right, anyway, I'm talking shite now. I'm going to get off the phone. I shall let you see what we see in Dobbies. Okay, so I bought this nice yellow tree type thing. I bought this white one. That's what it should look like when it grows. This one, this is what it should look like. A little tiny one of those. These are snowdrops. You can just see one coming up there. And these are bluebells. These are bags to go into the bin of grass cuttings. These are sweet pea, which are going to go into these hanging baskets, and that's some compost. And I have a lavender out front. I haven't weeded this as yet, but you can see, remember I said all the little daffodils I planted? There they are, like just from little plants. So I'd started sort of weeding here, and I hadn't done a thorough weed, and I got as far as just before Yoda. So that all needs doing. And the birds' seeds need refilling. Right, obviously it's shitty weather. Everything isn't properly weeded. So the yellow one is here. I think that might be the red one. It's a little primrose that comes up every year that we took from the side of the road. It's a wild primrose. Those little dark green ones are snowdrops. This is the thing that should grow back, as is that. That's my little daffodils. These are bluebells. That's an existing tree, and that's the other new one there. And that's where the birdies get their stuff. Oh, I'll show you this running water now. It's not actually looking as bad as usual. See it up there? That's 24/7, folks. Okay, so I'm back in. My hair's back because it's all frizzy and I'm roasting. I'm knackered. That's the Sims music. Yes, I'm playing a bit of Sims before tea. Darren's just cooking some tea. It's really weird in this house. It's like role reversal. Darren cooks. I can cook, but he prefers to cook. And I did all the gardening. Right, Isaac's coming. Wait a minute. He's upstairs with Stephen. Come down. Can I get a thing for Fortnite for $7.99? I'm like, well, I'll be taking the money off you, Isaac. I'm not paying for it. So he's way up again. He must be playing Fortnite. So he done his first night at Beavers last night, which seemed to go okay. Next week the Beavers are at a pet shop, Pets at Home, so we'll enjoy that. And he went on a walk on Waterfoot Beach last night with explorers, which was good. The Scouts are off on their expedition weekend this weekend, and when they were camping, I don't think they realised how awesome it is. They saw the Northern Lights. One of the leaders took a picture. I mean, could nobody get the thought to get all the kids together standing with the sky above them? Not one of them. I mean, that's why I need to be on these things, but I'm not able to camp because of my back and my pains. I just couldn't lie on the, People say, oh, get raised camping beds. It's like outside, overnight, me. No. And not because I'm precious, because I would really like to be able to. But things like download and all that are out for me because I can't camp because of my pains. Like, if I lay down that low, I don't know that I'd be able to get up. It's that bad. I mean, at the minute, I love baths, but I really struggle in the baths with getting out. I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's no way on this earth I'm bringing Darren in to help me get me out of the bath. I think he'd fucking wet himself. He'd wee laughing at the state of me like an overturned turtle. I'm not giving him the satisfaction. So when I have a bath, I have to try and turn around in the bath, as in complete like belly down, and then get onto my knees, and then from my knees out. And it's so difficult to do it. It's like, is it worth it? So I tend to shower rather than bath, but I prefer to bath. How did I get onto that? Yeah, so next week he's at, no, Tuesday night he has a course at the hall called, it's for a young leaders module that he's doing, which all the explorers do. And then he's doing his Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award. I looked up who the Duke of Edinburgh was. I says, if this is fucking Andrew, you're not doing it. I'm sorry, but no, it's Edward. Now, I'm not a royalist. I don't agree with the royal family. I think they're leeches. I don't think they should be there. But we'll tolerate Edward. I prefer Meghan and Harry, to be honest, to all of them. And that's not a very popular opinion. Most people take the side of Charles and William. I don't. I think they're both ponces. I don't like them. I think Harry's the only one with a fucking backbone. People blame her and say she's disruptive. When you look at the stuff that the royal family have done, and you look at the charity work that she has done, you can see why she doesn't really want to align herself with those kind of people. Like, basically covering for Prince Andrew, and no, I'm not even going to start. But yeah, so I don't think there's much else. I'm knackered. I keep taking really bad dizzy heads and almost fainting. I have to stand completely still until it stops, and it happened like about 3 times out in the garden. It's like role reversal. It's like them sort of jobs Darren should be doing, really, but Darren don't like hard work. He does the thing as quickly as he can do it. Doesn't mind cooking, but see things like tidying up or gardening or weeding or any of that, no. That's why when he mows the grass. He doesn't trim the sides, and he doesn't pick up the grass that's left behind. He just leaves it to turn to hay or whatever it is. Because our mower's electric and it's cheap and it's shit and it doesn't pick up all the grass. I'd love a petrol lawnmower, but they're too expensive. But anyway, right, we're gonna go, or I'm gonna go. I'm gonna play a bit of Sims, then it'll be tea time, and then I'll watch shitty Saturday night TV. There's a new show on called 100 to 1 with 2 brothers that used to be in Coronation Street, and the 2 of them really irritate me. I can't. Somebody says they're the new Ant and Dec. I'm like, fuck off, are they? The new Ant and Dec. I like Ant and Dec. And it's basically a show where they have to whittle it from 100 down to 1. I don't know if they've got the idea from Beast Games, which I actually really liked. The prize pot was at 10 million. And then I found out that the taxman takes half of it. So even though like a person wins 10 million, I know 5 million's, amazing. But imagine taxman takes half of it. But Beast Games was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime, if you haven't seen it. But this thing, I think they're trying to copy it, but it's shit. I like the 1% Club. Sorry, 1% Club. I watched that. And I did like Michael McIntyre's Big Show, but that's not on anymore. I don't like the stuff like Britain's Got Talent. I'll catch a bit of it occasionally, and I like some of it, but I'm sick of seeing them bringing on kids and disabled people and then nobody else getting a chance. This is horrible to say. And my mum's disabled. To a degree I am. But I mean, they keep bringing on people with hard luck stories and little kids, and it's like, well, they're shit. But because they've got an amazing backstory, all of these talented people aren't getting a fucking chance. Britain's Got Talent, and then there's someone, where are you from? China. Why do they not have just the countries that the people are from? I don't know, because they're like all over the world, and there are British people go on America's Got Talent, and it's like, you're not American, what are you doing on there? Go on your own fucking show. Anyway, there's a dog across the way looking out the window. He's called Freddy, but he's a she. I didn't know that. It's a female dog called Freddy. I don't know, maybe they're Queen fans, I don't know. She's watching out. They are watching out the top window. Right, I'm going to go and play my Sims before I just talk shite and use all my time up. I shall speak to you tomorrow to close off the vlog. I put this on so you could see Darren's driving position. I think he thinks he's like the tallest man in the world. I think he's 5'11".
If someone's 5'11", just say they're 6 foot.
That's what he does say, is it?
Car smells of diesel. Bloody hell, it stinks.
Car smells of what?
It's-
And you've put it back further again.
I didn't want my knees touching things.
Darren, the tallest man in the world.
No, I don't like my knees touching the dashboard.
It stinks of what?
Diesel, that car's just started up there.
Oh,
It's
I
like
thought you meant the
awful.
car. I
No.
thought I didn't smell anything.
No, it's just started up. It's absolutely reeking of burning diesel. It smells worse than Land Rover.
Happy Mother's Day, if you're a mother. If you're in the UK, that is. If you're in America, it's a completely different day. Sometimes I get people telling me Happy Mother's Day in like a completely different time of year, and I'm thinking, eh?
You think, what? Oh, what?
It's because in America it's a different date. Yeah, so it's Mother's Day here today. I think it's the 30th of March, I think. Just on the way into my mum's. Let's hope there's no disasters of any description today. You never know what the hell you're going into. I have to try and fix the leg rest of the chair. You know, the little video thing that I recorded. Joy sent instructions. She says, oh, somebody must have... So it must have been her. How does she know that somebody must have adjusted?
I told her someone probably knows and stuff was fiddling with it, but... no,
Well, they've denied it. So apparently in the corner, which we've never seen, there is a lever that you pull out and you can get the bottom part to go out and in. So it won't fix the foot plate situation because that's just broken, but I should be able to get the legs back flush again, which will be slightly better than it is now. It's quite a nice day today. It's only 10 degrees, but sun's out.
17 next week.
It's not raining. Oh, the heady heights of 17. So what you're up to for Mother's Day, let me know in the comments. This is the thing when you're like an in-between age. You never get to do anything yourself for Mother's Day because you've always got a mother, so you have to go to their house. It's like you see mums that don't have to go to mums' houses and they're like, oh, they're going out for dinner or they're going for a day away or going out. Willie's mum's having a week because her birthday falls this week coming up and Mother's Day, so they're doing stuff over a whole week, including going on a short break. I'd have more money than sense. Nothing I don't think to tell you. Can you think of anything? Of any interest?
See if your dad's made his appointment.
He won't have made his appointment unless someone else forces him to, or someone else makes it. He won't have done it.
It was part of the deal for him being allowed home.
He won't do it. I'll guarantee you, part of the deal for him to be allowed home was to go up and have the thing and wait on his bloods, but then he started that crack again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's like, it's hard enough having to get a person to do the things that they don't want to do, but then when you get them there, for them the entirety of the time they're there to be on and on and on about wanting to leave. Right, I've had enough now, I'm fed up, I want to go now. And that's what you're dealing with. Well, that's what Darren was dealing with the entire time. You know what I mean? It's... could fucking bash his ears together sometimes.
So I left on the night time one. When I found him getting the car parked. Managed to persuade him back because what the nurse said, just tell him someone will see him right away. So they kind of did a gap stop.
Yeah, so they saw him even though they weren't actually doing something to make him feel like they were doing something. It's like, ugh. This is one of the joys of being an only child. You don't have someone else that you can say, right, I did it last time, it's your turn this time. Like my dad's dad, apparently, that passed away earlier this year, he was, or was it last year? He was very much like that as well. You know, he would sign himself out of hospitals and all sorts, and he had the same sort of not wanting to be around people, exactly the same. One of my uncles was telling me exactly how he was. Then when he was older, he had no bloody choice. He couldn't do anything or go anywhere, so I had to do what he was told. But my dad obviously takes that after him. It's extremely frustrating, but there's so many of them. There's I guess 9 of them. I can't remember exactly how many. One of them's passed away. One of them is like severely mentally and disabled, handicapped. He's been in like a special, he couldn't be cared for at home, he's so severely, you know, he's my dad's only oldest brother. My dad's the oldest of the rest of them, and then there's one sister and quite a number of other brothers. So there's like all of them lot, whereas I'm on my own. And then my mum's got no brothers and sisters, so you can't call on them. You know, it's not nice. I'm going to be one of these people with absolutely no, apart from Isaac, when we're old, no actual blood relatives. Because so many generations of our family, it's almost like there's been a curse of the only children, because it was never a conscious decision for any of the women in our family to only have one child. It was always medical reasons. So I'm going to be like, for no bloody, I have no cousins. Well, I do have cousins, but they're not like close. Apart from my dad, you know the way you get some families that are like dead close and see each other all the time, and other families see each other at weddings and funerals? Well, my dad's family's like that. Although the rest of them do tend to see each other. My dad's weird. He doesn't like having anything to do with anyone. And funny enough, when my granny and my granda were both in hospital and not well, and when my granda was dying last year, Rushing, who's the only girl, she lives in Oswaldtwistle, which is near Liverpool. She was the main one that had to keep coming back to sort everything out, and she basically, her and her daughter sat at his bedside for days and weeks.
Backwards and forwards.
Backwards and forwards from England. And there's loads of the lads, but did they, they obviously they went to see him, but of all that big family worth of brothers, it's the one female that lives really far away that has to come back and do everything. All the lads live here, they all live local. So it's like, when you just get your bloody finger out. My dad, in the whole time that my granddad was in a residential home, because they had to be put into one in the end because he was starting to do things like climb out windows. He was starting with dementia. He was a danger to himself, so they all had to. It must have been really expensive, because they were all paying £100 a month, and like I say, there's like 9 of them, so that's how much the fees of the residential home were. So like in our case, absolutely no mission of me being able to afford. And apparently, this is a good one, the only person in our family with any money is my mum. And it's not because she's flush, it's because my granny and granda never spent a bean their whole life, saved everything for her, and they've got a few thousand in the bank. I'm not saying it's a massive amount, but she's the only person with any form of savings in our family. But if my mum needed residential care, you're not allowed to use her money to pay for it. So it's like, well, I've got no money, my dad's got no money. How the hell are they going to, well, we can't touch that because that's her money. So what do? We'll take your house, but we won't take the money in the bank. It's like, no, I'm sorry, that's not fair. So it's weird. They'll take the house, but they won't take money that's in the bank. But she's the only bloody one with any money in the bank. But yeah, I can't say. Oh yeah, the point I was going to make was, of the whole time my granda was in that residential home, I'm going to say it was about a year before he died. My dad went once, and the once that he went was like a week, 2 weeks before he actually died. It's when they knew he was. That's when we had the big row about him wanting to get in the car pissed to drive up, and me and Darren had to basically
Hide the keys.
we had a massive argument about that. And then he went up the next day, rushing. His sister was over, so she took him up, and he died. It was the week he died, a week later. And that's how weird my dad is. It's not that he doesn't give a shit about his dad, it's that he does not like visiting. It's not even he doesn't like, it's almost like, and he won't admit it, it's almost like a phobia type thing of being in hospitals or going into, like, not really official, but you know what I mean, going into any situation where you have to have a meeting, or like people coming out to the house to discuss something, anything official, or any official sort of like a hospital, a care home, anything like that. When my mum was in for that very brief period of time, he just didn't want to be there. Like when my mum had to go to A&E, I had to take her on my own because he didn't want to go. I was like, well, I don't fucking want to go either, but you know, sometimes in life you have to do stuff, and like he doesn't want to wait in A&E, so he's I'm going. So he would rather actually drop dead than wait. And I'm like, what do you think you're keen tut or something? Everybody has to do it.
Did twice in past month.
Yep. So nice stress to deal with. Every time I go in here, I'm thinking, right, what's it going to be today? Honestly, I'm not joking. I've got to the point, if I start to feel my body relax, which happened 2 weeks ago when I said I've done nothing, I'm trying to relax, I'm trying to de-stress from scouts throwing everything at me. The minute I started to calm down a bit, then all this crack started with my dad's blood pressure. I wonder what it is now. So the next palaver is going to be getting him to go to the doctors for a blood pressure. He'll probably take these tablets he has, and then that'll be it. He'll not want to get any more because it'll mean he'll have to go in. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, they told him, they explained to him before you are now on these, probably on these tablets
Yeah,
for
but
life.
my dad doesn't care. He'd rather drop dead than go see a doctor. That's his viewpoint. He'll just not go. Oh, dear me. It would be, you know, like this period of life that people get when their kids get a bit older and they get a little bit of freedom to do stuff. It's like, no chance. Absolutely no chance for me. It's like having 3 kids. Isaac is more capable of being left on his own than my parents.
We need that red-headed doctor.
Or the one that shouted at him.
Oh, it was like a primary school kid had done something really bad in class, and then she just get a dressing down.
That was over and out.